Tokyo Industrial Syndrome Berhad was founded in 1994, a subsidiary company of UDS Capital Berhad, a listed company on 2005. The company has accumulated many years of experiences in furniture manufacturing and is now producing and exporting furniture of international quality and standards. The goal of the company is to provide quality, varied choice, and service to their customers.
We have used the method of qualitative research. The first one is participant observations. Our group went to Pokyong Furniture Sendirian Berhad Muar on 16 November 2018. We visited each production process in the factory. Our group members have asked questions and record all the information are given by manager. The manager Mishra have allowed us to take picture while observing each process. We have chosen a formal interview that is interview with their manager Mishra in Pokyong Furniture Sendirian Berhad. Before we go to the interview, our group members have sent the email to the Pokyong Furniture Sendirian Berhad and contact with their manager to plan for a formal interview. Our group members also are discuss and prepare some interview questions before going to the Pokyong Furniture Sendirian Berhad. We also use secondary data to collect data and informations. The first one is internet. We use the internet to browse the web to find specific data, and we found a lot of data and information about the Pokyong Furniture Sendirian Berhad, such as their company background, product that the company produce, and others while through the internet. Library reference. We also use this method as a reference for developing our group study.
After we had visited the company, we found that most of the workers did not wear proper personal protective equipment. Factory director is checking the machine without wearing high voltage insulating rubber glove. It will cause electrocution hazard. It has a high fatality and likelihood of the hazard event is very likely based on table 1. Next, some of the workers did not wear cover shoes. It will cause accident by wood hitting on the leg. The severity level of this hazard event is minor injuries, medium, and the likelihood of the hazard event is very likely based on table 1. Due to the human error, new and untrained worker. The existing control measure of the safety and health in the company is loose. Every worker did not obey the rules and regulations to wear proper personal protective equipment. So, I suggest that the company educate employees on the importance of PPE because most of the workers are foreigners, they do not know the risk and hazard of not wearing proper PPE. And the company got poor ventilation system. Sawdust affect your skin and respiratory system, but it is known as a carcinogen. They may cause cancer after repeated exposure of the sawdust. The severity level of this hazard event is fatality high, and the likelihood of the hazard event is very likely based on table 1. Therefore, I suggest that the company install industrial ductwork infrastructure to aid in the movement of air, such as tap system. For the quick and the cheapest fix, company can buy a dust mask for every worker and increase ventilation by build more window and open air workplace for creating air movement.
Most of material were placed in a high positions to reduce cost of warehousing. It will cause the material fall from a high positions while center of gravity is not stable. So, the risk of employee will be getting hurt or serious injuries such as break a leg or hand bone and head injury that cause trauma is high. The factory are now follow the legislations of Factory and Machinery Act 1967, the regulations 20 stacking of material. Therefore, the severity level of this hazard event is fatality high and the likelihood of the hazard event is likely based on table 1. In my opinion, all workers who are or may be responsible for stacking, storing, securing, or keeping any goods, material, or equipment require full training in safe method of doing so. Next, we found that the dish of the factory full of substance and rubbish cause the water in the dish cannot flow out from the factory, while the stagnant water in dish is alarm for dengue. Dengue disease will cause human death. Therefore, the severity level of this hazard event is fatality high and the likelihood of the hazard event is likely based on table 1. I suggest that the supervisor of the factory should list out the timetable for the employee who are responsible to clean out the dish every week.
In conclusion, occupational health hazards that present at the Pokyong Industry Sdn Bhd. Number 1. Worker did not wear proper personal protective equipment. Number 2. Poor ventilation system. Number 3. Company installed the material at the high position. Number 4 is dish of the factory full of substance or rubbish. Existing control measure of safety and health in the company is loose.